Welcome to Epstein, Becker, Green's Employment Law This Week podcast. I'm George Whipple. Stay or pay bans are now in effect in California and New York. These laws largely ban employers from requiring workers to reimburse training and other similar costs if they leave before a specified period, effectively forcing the individual to remain in their job. These two bellwether states have taken different approaches to regulating the practice. California's Assembly Bill 692 is a sweeping bill that bans almost any repayment agreement, including agreements requiring the repayment of signing bonuses, unless the agreement complies with several strict and limiting requirements. New York's Trapped at Work Act is more permissive, with exceptions for clawbacks of non-training related wage advances like signing bonuses and relocation assistance, as well as payments made pursuant to collective bargaining agreements. New York employers should keep watching, though. Lawmakers have already introduced an amendment to drastically narrow the exceptions and push back the effective date. EBG will discuss the New York law next week in a webinar on the outlook for employers in New York City under Mayor Mamdani and other recent developments in New York. For more information, check out the webinar link in the show description. We've got developing immigration news for employers. A federal judge has ruled that the Trump administration has the authority to impose a new $100,000 fee for processing new H-1B visas filed after September 21, 2025. But we're likely to hear more from the courts on this matter. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce has appealed the ruling, and the D.C. Circuit has agreed to expedite that appeal. Another new regulation that changes the H-1B lottery rules is set to go into effect on February 27th, in time for the next H-1B lottery cycle in March 2026. The new H-1B lottery rules will implement a wage-weighted selection system, giving higher-paid workers more chances at the lottery. In other immigration news, the Department of State has announced an indefinite pause on the issuance of all immigrant visas for residents of 75 countries. Immigrant visas, which are issued by the U.S. Consulate, allow foreign nationals to enter the U.S. as permanent residents, otherwise known as green card holders. This could impact employers dealing with green cards, talent recruitment, and family migration. EEOC clears a path for faster policy changes. The agency has scrapped its internal voting procedures, giving EEOC Chair Andrea Lucas the power to set agendas and decide when and how votes proceed without public input. The decision paves the way for the EEOC to fast-track the current administration's policy initiatives. This will likely mean the agency revisits prior guidance, which could potentially result in even faster regulatory shifts this year than last. That's it for this week. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
This podcast is presented by Epstein, Becker, and Green, PC. All rights are reserved. This audio recording includes information about legal issues and legal developments. Such materials are for informational purposes only and may not reflect the most current legal developments. These informational materials are not intended and should not be taken as legal advice on any particular set of facts or circumstances, and these materials are not a substitute for the advice of competent counsel. The content reflects the personal views and opinions of the participants. No attorney-client relationship has been created by this audio recording. This audio recording may be considered attorney advertising in some jurisdictions under the applicable law and ethical rules. The determination of the need for legal services and the choice of a lawyer are extremely important decisions and should not be based solely upon advertisements or self-proclaimed expertise. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.